بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. About اسم الزمان واسم المكان. So these are also derived forms that are derived from the verb, and we call them mushtaqat. So two of the mushtaqat we have already completed in the previous lesson, and two of them we will complete today inshallah. Ism al-zaman wa ism al-makan. They have only two patterns, or we say like awzan. So the first one is on the pattern of maf'alun, which is like madkhalun, as we can see here. And the second one is maf'il, which is basically maf'ilun. And the example is here, majlisun. So maf'alun and maf'ilun. So one of them has fatha, as we can see on the second last letter, and one of them has kasra. And they can be used as like adverb of time, and also they can be used as adverb of place, depending on how it is used in the sentence. Ism al-zaman wa ism al-makan. So we need to know that we also call them dharf, like adverb, and we have already learned some like dhuruf, for example, qablu, qabla wa ba'da, similarly amama wa khalfa. So we need to know that these are different from those adverbs. Those adverbs are original adverbs, and these are derived. So that's, and we know that those adverbs like qabla wa ba'da, amama, khalfa, fawqa, tahta, they are used as mudaf, but these are used in a sentence according to their position. They can be marfu, they can be mansub, and they can be majroor. Now first have a look at the pattern of maf'alun. Maf'alun is more common than maf'ilun. This is used like more than the other pattern. So all naqis verbs, as we know, naqis, like when they have a waw or ya as the third root letter, come on the pattern of maf'alun. So all naqis verbs, for example, jara, yajri, and why we say it is naqis, because the third root letter is ya. So jara, yajri, yeah, and dharf will be majran. It will be majran. So it is on the pattern of maf'alun, but as we know that this is manqus, and manqus basically either it takes fathatain or kasratain, we know that. And the easiest way to make it, the simplest way, is just simply put meme before it, meme with fatha, yeah, make it sakin, and then put fathatain, so it becomes majran. The simplest way. Okay, so it will be majra or majran if we don't stop. Similarly, we have laha, yalhu, to play or to play around, and the place of entertainment, or the place where the kids play, basically, that is called malhan. And if you see like the place, if you go to a place where the kids go and play, you will see it's written over there, malhan. So as we have seen that if we put meme before this only, and we put fatha on this, make this sakin, and then we put fathatain on that, and it becomes malhan. So the place of entertainment. All sahih verbs, as we know that they don't have fatha, they don't have hamza, they don't have tashdid, they don't have waw or ya. So all sahih verbs except for bab daraba. So that is the only exception. So other than bab daraba, all the verbs, they will have a dharf az-zaman or makan on the pattern of maf'alun. For example, kataba yaktubu, and adverb is maktabun. So it could be writing desk, and also it could be an office, maktabun. So as we can see here, it is kataba yaktubu. So it is not bab daraba yadribu. So that's why it will be on the pattern of maf'alun. Similarly, we have sami'a yasma'u on the pattern of sami'a yasma'u. We have la'iba yal'abu, and adverb of place will be or mal'abun, which is playground. And now it is also confirmed that most of the words in Arabic language that start with meme, they are nouns. Most of them, not all of them, but majority of the words that start with meme in Arabic language, they are nouns. So for maf'alun, we have only two patterns. Number one, al-af'al al-naqisa, and number two, all the sahih verbs except for bab, daraba, yadribu. Then we have the pattern of maf'ilun. Maf'ilun, as we can see here, the second last root letter has kasra over here. So as we have discussed, like naqis and sahih verb, they have on the pattern of maf'alun, and all the verbs like mithal verbs come on the pattern of maf'ilun. And we know that mithal means the verbs that start with waw or ya. So waqafa, yaqifu, and mawqifun. So mawqif is used for car park. Similarly, wada'a, yada'u, and mawdi'un, place. So also, as we can see here, that this is mithal, it starts with waw, and that's why all the dhuruf or dharf al-zaman and makan, they will come on the pattern of maf'ilun, as we can see here, mawqifun wa mawdi'un. And all sahih verbs from bab daraba yadribu. So all the verbs that come from bab daraba yadribu, and when they are sahih, and if they don't have any of the other, like they don't have hamza or tashdid or waw or ya, so they will come on the pattern of maf'ilun. For example, jalasa yajlisu, and dharf is majlisun, sitting room. And similarly, nazala yanzilu, manzilun, as we can see here, place of getting down, or it is also used for the home. Manzil is also used for the home as well. So now we can see here that as we know that in bab daraba, as we know that the mudari takes kasra, so this is a small like hint, as we can see here, that when we have kasra here in the present tense, that means that dharf will also take kasra as well, as we can see here. So either you can remember it as bab daraba yadribu, or you can go by the kasra of the mudari, and from that you can figure out, and then we can make dharf, which will be on the pattern of maf'ilun. So we have jalasa yajlisu majlisun, and nazala yanzilu manzilun. So we have two patterns, or we have two verb kinds where we have on the pattern of maf'alun, and we have two of them which have dharf on the pattern of maf'ilun. And we always know that there are always some exceptions to the rules. This is because of the diversity of the Arabic language, as we know. And we know that in language we make rules, and they are not always like 100%. Sometimes there is exception for the rules as well. So some verbs, and these verbs we are talking about sahih. Some verbs, they from bab nasara yansuru, they can also come on the pattern of maf'ilun. Maf'ilun. So this is an exception. For example, sajada yasjudu, and we have masjidun. Similarly, sharaqa yashruqu, and we have mashriqun for east. Gharaba yaghrubu, and we have maghribun, west. And these are the words like most commonly used words, and there are only very few, like around 10 to 12 that are accepted, that are exceptions, and we know that these three are exceptions, and they have been used in the Quran. So our focus is Quran. That's why we have mentioned over here. Masjidun, and the plural is masajidu. Mashriqun, and the plural is mashariqu. Maghribun, and the plural is magharibu. Sometimes ta marbuta is added to both maf'alun and maf'ilun patterns. Sometimes, not always, as we can see here. Madrasun, and from madrasun we have madrasatun, means school. And similarly we have manzilun, and from manzilun we make manzilatun, that means position, manzilatun. And especially when we have ta marbuta and we have on this pattern, like maktabatun, madrasatun, it also is like kind of mubalagha, like something that is done again and again. So we can say that this ta is like ta al-mubalagha, where something happens again and again, like madrasatun, we go again and again, maktabatun, we go and study over there as well. So this is all about dharf al-zaman and dharf al-makan. And as we have seen, that according to the situation, we will see whether they are used for time or whether they are used for place. Now we can start our lesson, ad-darsu as-sadisu, lesson number 6. And we can say that hadha ad-darsu as-sadisu, this is lesson number 6. Al-mushrifu, the supervisor. Okay, now we know that al-mushrifu is also ismul fa'il, the doer, but it is not on the pattern of fa'ilun. Why it is not on the pattern of fa'ilun? Because it is the like mazid fi form of the verb, and this is not the basic form of the verb. It does not have 3 root letters, it has 4 root letters, so that's why it will be mushrifu. And how do you recognize this? Do you remember that? We have discussed in book number.
Aslama.
Yes, aslama yuslim islaman fahuwa muslimun. Ashrafa yushrifu ishrafa.
Second last letter with kasra, sir.
With kasra, yeah.
Ismul fa'il.
Excellent. So meme will take dhamma always. Meme will take dhamma, and the second last root letter, if it has kasra, that means it is ismul fa'il, and if it has fatha, then it means it is ismul maf'ul. Excellent. Al mushrifu, the supervisor. Ba'da. Okay, ba'da. What kind of dharf is this? Is this the derived or is it the original dharf? Ba'da is the original dharf. It is not derived. If it is derived, it will be on the pattern of maf'alun or maf'ilun. As we discussed in the beginning of the lesson, like ba'da, qabla, similarly we have amama, khalfa, fawqa, tahta. So they are also called dharf. And how are they used in Arabic language? They have a special function. Yes, do you remember how they are used? Nobody remembers? What will be the end of tahiyya?
Tahiyyati, ba'da
tahiyyati. Excellent. After the greeting. So we know that they are always used as mudaf. Very simple. They are used as mudaf. And the noun that comes after that will be mudaf alayh. So that's why it is majroor. Ba'da tahiyyati, after greeting. Tahiyyatun. Okay, so tahiyyatun means greeting or greetings, all right. And we know that it's used in the Quran as well. In Surah An-Nisa, verse number 86. وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُمْ, حُيِّيتُمْ, as we can see here now, that the beginning has dhamma, and after that we have kasra. So that means this is passive tense for the past. Passive tense for the past verb. وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُمْ, when you are greeted, and because of إِذَا, it has been translated into present. So when you are greeted, بِتَحِيَّةٍ, so as we can see here, greeting or salutation, فَحِيُّ, and فَحِيُّ is fi'l al-amr. Inshallah, we will learn about it. بِأَحْسَنَ. Okay, أحسن. Why أحسن has fatha instead of kasra? We have harf jar ba, so it should be بِأَحْسَنِ. This is mamnu'un min as-sarf. أفعل التفضيل, all of them, they are mamnu' min as-sarf. بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا أَحْسَنَ. And after that, min, when we have min after that, that means you are using it for comparative. Yeah. بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا أَوْ رُدُّوهَا. رُدُّو. Are you able to, or can you please figure out, like, what kind of verb form is this?
Tal'ifun.
Again, please.
Tal'ifun.
This is mudaf, because radda yaruddu. This is mudaf, radda yaruddu. Okay, is this past tense, or is this present tense, or is this fi'l al-amr? This is fi'l al-amr. This is fi'l al-amr. Please remember, in the previous lessons we have discussed that all the mudaf, for example, jarra yajurru, radda yaruddu. So when you want to make fi'l al-amr, we will put dhamma only in the beginning, and it will be rudda, ruddu, rudduha, or return the same. So now you should remember the example that we have discussed in the previous lesson was jurra al-kursiya, drag the chair. So rudduha, all mudaf verbs, when we make fi'l al-amr will be from radda, it will be rudda. From jarra, when you greet with a salutation, greet with one better than it, or return the same. So وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُمْ بِتَحِيَّةٍ. And in the tashahhud, what do we read? At-tahiyyatu. At-tahiyyatu, yeah. So tahiyyatun, and the plural of tahiyyatun is tahiyyatun. And when we put al with that, it will be at-tahiyyatu lillahi was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. And similarly, when we go to masjid, we pray tahiyyatul masjid. When we go to masjid, when we go to pray over there. So so from there we can see that it means to greet or to salute. So ba'da tahiyyati, after the greeting, that means after saying assalamu alaikum. Antum al-mushtarikuna fi rihlatil hajj. Are you participants in the journey of Hajj? Antum are you mubtada? Al-mushtarikuna. Mushtarikuna is also on the pattern of ism al-fa'il, but this is from the mazid fi form of the verb. So as we have dhamma in the beginning, and when we have, it was basically mushtariku, and we know that una, ina, ina. Una is the form of sound plural for masculine. So when we have kasra before the second last letter, that means it will be on the form of, or on the pattern of ism al-fa'il. Al-mushtarikuna, participants. Fi in rihlat al-hajj. Rihla is mudaf and al-hajj is mudaf ilayh. And I'm sure now you are able to figure out why, because rihla doesn't have al, it doesn't have tanween, and the noun that comes after that has al. So it will be confirmed that the combination of common noun and proper noun will be mudaf ilayh. Yes, fi rihlat al-hajj, in the journey of hajj. Yes.
Sir, antumul mushrikun. You are saying antum is the mubtada, al mushrikun is the habar.
Mushtarikuna, yes. Mushtarikuna, yes.
How can we say habar this one?
Very good question. Sometimes proper noun can also be a khabar as well, and we will see the example of this in the end of the lesson as well. The example from the Quran, we have Allahu as-Samadu. Allahu as-Samad. Allahu, yes, Ismul Jalala is mubtada, and it is also proper noun, and as-Samadu is also proper noun. So it's possible, like there are very few exceptions, and it is basically used for emphasis. When you want to emphasize the idea, then it can be a proper noun as well.
Okay.
Ahmadu. Wayakum. Ahmadu. Mamnu min as-sarf, on the pattern of af'alu. Naam. Ahmadu. Naam. Yes. Al-mushrifu. Now you can see here that the vowel signs have been dropped, so that you are able to read by yourself. Ya'udduhum. He counts them. Wa yunadihim, and he calls them. Thumma yaqulu, and then he says. Adda ya'uddu, to count. Adda ya'uddu, and hum is in the place of object, or it is in the place of maf'ul bihi. And now, inshallah, it is confirmed that whenever we have verb and when we have the attached pronoun will always be maf'ul bihi. So he counts them. Wa yunadihim, nada yunadi munadiyatan, and he calls them. Thumma yaqulu, and then he says antum al-ana, and when we connect it, it will be antumul ana. ثمانية عشرة. Now you are 18. يعني ثمانية عشرة طالبا. So طالبا, sometimes you know that the means is dropped. Like we have in the Quran, عليها تسعة عشر. So it's possible that the tamyiz can be dropped. So أنتم الآن ثمانية عشرة. Now you are 18 students, or now you are 18. أين حامد وعبد الباقي? Where is Hamid and Abdul Baqi? Baqi is the derived form of baqa yabqi, and fahuwa baqin, and when we use al with that, then ya comes back. Al-bara'u hamidun fil mat'ami. Hamid is in a restaurant, or in the restaurant. Mat'am, so it is on the pattern of maf'al. So that means this is a dharf, yeah. Fil mat'ami. Amma Abdul Baqi, as for Abdul Baqi, faqad dhahaba ila al-masrifi, so he has gone to the bank. Masrif. So when it has kasra, and that means it is from bab daraba yadribu, right? When it has kasra, it is from bab daraba yadribu. That's why it is masrifu. And when it doesn't have kasra, when it has fatha, that means it is from other babs which are not from bab daraba yadribu. So hamidun fil matami. Hamid is in the restaurant. Amma, we have discussed about this many times. فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. So after that we have fa always. So Amma Abdul Baqi faqad dhahaba ila al-masrafi. So he has gone to the bank. So ya'tiyani, they both will come ba'da, after ashri daqa'iqa, 10 minutes, insha'Allahu, if Allah wills. So they will come after 10 minutes with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-mushrifu amusta'iduna antum. So again, basically it is antum musta'iduna, and it can be also musta'iduna antum. Are you ready? Musta'idun is also ismul fa'il. Ista'adda yasta'iddu isti'dadan, and this is verb form number 10. And the only thing that we need to know, that if we have dhamma, if on mim has dhamma, and the second last root letter has kasra, That means it is ismul fa'il for the derived forms of the verb. Musta'iduna antum, are you ready? Al-Hasanu, Hassan says, Insha'Allahu, Insha'Allah. Aliyun, Mata as-safru, Insha'Allah. Mata as-safru, so Mata is khabar muqaddam and as-safru is mubtada, because we know Mata and Aina, because they talk about time and they are dhuruf. So dhuruf can never ever be dhuruf, and similarly mubtada, jar majroor, they cannot be mubtada, they will always be khabar. Mata as-safru, Insha'Allah. When is the travel? Al-mushrifu fi as-sa'ati ath-thalithati bi-idhnillah. At 3 o'clock, after or with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So fi as-sa'ati ath-thalithati, 3 o'clock. Ba is harf jar. Idhn, as we can see here, is a noun, and lafz al-jalala, as we know already as well. So bi-idhni is jar majroor, and idhn is mudaf, and lafz al-jalala is mudaf ilayh. So we know that a noun can be majroor for two reasons. When it comes after the harf jar, so reason number one is here, it is majroor because of B, and ism al-jalala or lafz al-jalala is majroor because it is mudaf ilayh. Bi-idhnillah,
So-
with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, sir.
What kind of sentence shall we call this one?
Of course, this is
الثالثة.
it is a nominal sentence. It cannot be verbal sentence because verbal sentence must start with a verb. And this
Yes,
is a
so
nominal
this
sentence.
one
Yes.
في الساعات الثالثة should be خبر مقدم and
بإذن
بإذن
الله
الله
will
should
be
be
mubtada. That's right.
مبتدأ.
Yes. Basically, basically what
Because
we say
بإذن الله is also
jar majroor. Excellent.
jar majroor.
However, as we can see here, asa thalitha, they are both, as we can see here, this is dharf and this is jar, harf jar. So both of them, they are jar and harf and dharf. That's why they cannot be mubtada.
Okay.
Did you get the idea?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Whereas basically we know mudaf alayh can be mubtada and it can be khabar.
Can be
So
مبتدأ.
yeah, so that's why we will say that this is mubtada and this is khabar.
Okay.
Ahmadu, aina naltaqi, where do we meet? Iltaqa yaltaqi iltiqa'an, to meet. Aina naltaqi, where do we meet? Al-mushrifu, the supervisor. Naltaqi fi mawqif as-sayyarati bil jami'ati. All right, so as we can see here now, mawqif. This is on the pattern of
وقف.
yeah,
Maf'il.
waqafa yaqifu, yeah, maf'ilun, yeah. So why it is on the pattern of maf'ilun? Because this is mithal, waqafa yaqifu.
مثال.
Yes, and we have seen that all the mithal verbs, they come on the pattern of, when we make a dharf, it will be on the pattern of maf'ilun. So naltaqi fi mawqif as-sayyarati bil jami'ati. Okay, mawqif here, is it used for time or is it used for place?
Place.
Place, excellent, excellent, okay. So we will meet in the car park bil jamiati, by the university, or the car park that is inside the university. And we have discussed that ba is also used for the cities or the countries or the place. So for the place we also use ba. For example, ana askunu bil jubail or ana askunu fil jubail, both of them are okay. So we will meet in the car park of the university. Yajibu, wajaba yajibu, yajibu an takunu. So yajibu is fail plus file. An takunu, you know that an, when we use an, then it is used as masdar al-mu'awwal. Yajibu an takunu, so it will be fail file plus maf'ul. Okay, it was basically takununa, we know that, and the noon has been dropped because of an. It's a must, an takunu, that you be there. So hunaka there. Hunaka is also a dharf, by the way. It is also a dharf. The original dharf by itself, huna and hunak. So it is a must for you to be there. Qabla, before. Maw'id safari, before the time of the travel. Binisfi sa'atin, by half an hour. It is a must for you to be over there half an hour before the travel time, or before the meeting time of the travel, by half an hour. And we know that sometimes, like the translation cannot be that like exactly as it is from one language to the other language, because translation is basically an expression by itself. So that's why the way we are trying to translate, it could be different, it could be figurative, it can be the running translation. There are many possibilities, but we are trying to do the translation harf by harf or word by word, so that we are able to understand it. Now we know that qabla is used as the original dharf, and maw'id is the derived dharf. Maw'id, it is on the pattern of maf'il, right? Maf'il. And why it is on the pattern of maf'il? Because it is from bab, or it is from al-mithal. In wa'ada ya'idu, so that's why it is maw'id. And here it is used for time or place?
Time.
Time. Why? Because the time is mentioned here. Binisfi sa'atin, half an hour. So that's why we know that it is used for time. Excellent. Hatu, bring. Haqa'ibakum, your bags. Haqa'ib, and then we have ba. Haqa'iba, mamnu min as-sarf. Haqa'ibakum, bring your bags. Okay, hatu is bring, right? So if you talk about the single masculine, you will say hati, right? Hati for the masculine, and for the feminine it will be hati, and hatu means you all bring. Okay, do you remember an example from the Quran? Hatu burhanakum in kuntum sadiqin. Yes, bring your evidence if you're truthful. So in Arabic language, whenever you want or whenever you ask someone to bring something, the best form of making fi'l al-amr is hati for the singular and hatu for the plural. Instead of, for example, we use the word ahdara, yuhdiru ihdaran to bring, but we don't say ahdir, or we have jalaba yajlibu to bring something. We don't say ijlib. And the best verb form that is used in Arabic is hati for the singular and hatu for the plural. Similarly, in the previous lesson, we discussed that when we ask someone to come, we say ta'al, ta'al for one. And for the feminine, it will be ta'ali. And for the masculine plural, it will be, for every word, it will be ta'alaw. And all of them, they have been used in the Quran. So this is a little bit confusing because we don't use the original verbs. We use these special verbs. So for bringing something, we use hati and hatu. And for coming, we say ta'al and ta'alaw. And both of them have been used in the Quran. So haqa'ibakum, it is mudaf mudaf alayh. And ba has fatha because it is maf'ul bihi. So fail plus file and maf'ul bihi. Hatu haqa'ibakum wa and. Okay, this is waw al-atf. And da'u. Yes, please tell me what kind of verb is this and what kind of verb form is this? You should be able to tell me now.
Command.
Excellent. Which verb and for who?
For whom? Sorry, antum.
Antum. Excellent. Excellent. Antum. Da, as we know, is used for one. Wada yada'u. Da, put. And da'a, you two put. And da'u, you all put. So da'u, you all put. Ha, in English, we will say them. In Arabic, it will be feminine, singular feminine. And put them here and put them all here. Ha refers to what?
Haqa'ibakum.
Haqa'ib. Excellent. So hatu haqa'ibakum, bring your bags. Wa and da'u, put ha them. Wa da'uha, and put them. Fis siyarati, in the car. Which car? Al-waqifati, which is parked, the car that is parked. Waqafa yaqifu, fahuwa waqifun, fahiya waqifatun. So someone who is standing for the masculine, it will be like waqifun, and for the feminine, it will be waqifatun. Fi siyarati al-waqifati, the car that is parked, amama, in front of, madkhalil mahja'i, in front of or at the entrance of the hostel. At the entrance of the hostel. So the teacher says that how to bring your bags and put them in the car that is parked in front of the entrance of the hostel. That is parked in the front of the entrance of the hostel. Okay, haja yahja'u. Do you remember any verse? Like we have the verse in the Quran, Surah Al-Dhariyat. كانوا قليلا من الليل ما يهجعون. they used to sleep but little of the night. Yahjaun, haja yahjau, that means to sleep, and the place of sleep will be mahjaun. Mahjaun, it is on the pattern of maf'alun. Madkhil is from dakhala yadkhulu, and mahjau is on the pattern of haja'a yahja'u. All right.
Can I ask something?
Yes, sure.
حقائبكم, because it's mamnu min as-sarf, it has fatha.
Okay.
But because it's like mudaf mudaf ilayh, should it have like kasra if it was in jar?
Excellent.
Sit.
Whenever it is used as mudaf ilayh, and whenever it takes al, mamnu min as-sarf, universal rule. Whenever they are used as mudaf ilayh, and whenever we use al with them, they will accept kasra. For example, if I ask you, ماذا في حقائبكم? What is in your bags? So when I am asking a question and when I am using fi before it, then of course it will take kasra. Then it's possible.
Okay.
So if I say ماذا في حقائبكم, or ماذا في الحقائب, في الحقائب, what is in the bags? You know that when we use al, we cannot use the attached pronoun. So either we can say ماذا في الحقائب, what is in the bags, or ماذا في حقائبكم, what is in your bags. So whenever we have harf jar before it, when they are used as mudaf ilayh, and when they have al before them, then they will accept kasra.
Okay.
All right. Naifun. What kind of verb form is this, or what kind of verb is this? Is it ismul fa'il, or what kind of noun is this?
Fine.
It's on the pattern of
Ismul fa'il.
Yeah, and yes, naifun. It starts the name. Lamma ya'ti zumala'una as-sakinuna fil mahja' ath-thani. Okay, lamma. Here, what does it mean?
Don't bring
Zarf, like
La, la.
whenever.
Yeah, not yet. Lamma, we know that lamma is used. Lamma is used when it is used with the past. It means when, and when it is used with the present, it means yet or not yet. And we know that lamma is harf al-jazim. So the verb that comes after that will be majzoom. So that means the ending will be dropped. So from yati, what has been dropped? It
Yeah.
was ya has been. It was yati ya. Ata yati. So ya has been dropped because of lamma. Lamma yati. He has not come. Who has not come here? So we have to look for the noun that has dhamma. So zumala'una is the file. Lamma yati zumala'una. Our classmates or our colleagues have not come yet. As-sakinuna, those who live fil mahja' ath-thani, in the second hostel. So our colleagues or our classmates, those who live in the second hostel, have not arrived yet. Have not arrived yet. Lamma yadkhul al-iman. Lamma yadkhul al-iman fi qulubikum. The example, if you remember one example, that iman has not entered your hearts yet. Which surah is this? Do you remember? We have discussed many times about this. Surah al-Hujurat. Yes, referring to the Arab. Sorry, it's Arab, not Arab. Arab is used for, like, we talk a lot about it. Arab is like the endings or the rafa nasb and jar, and Arab is the plural form of the Bedouins. Al-Mushrifu, ulaika, they, sayalhaquna bina, they will join us. Lahika yalhaqu, and it comes with the preposition of be. Sayalhaquna sa, as we know that it is used for the nearest future. As soon they will join us. Sayalhaquna bina, inda is dharf. Mahattat al-qitari al-qadimi. So soon they will join us in the old train station. Mahatta is used for the station, al-qitar, train, and the sifa that is used for qitar is qadimi, in the old train station. Okay, why now mahatta is majroor? Why it is majroor?
Because it's mudaf ilayh for after coming after zarf.
Yeah, because of
Inda.
yeah, all right. And al-qitari al-qadimi, they are majroor because of being used as mudaf. Kam hum, how many are they? Hum asharatun, they are 10. هم عشرة, they are 10. How should we read this one? Amrun, right? Amrun, and we know that the waw has been placed over there. It is an extra waw. It has been placed to distinguish it from Umaru. So we know that Umaru is mamnu min as-sarf and Amrun is flexible. So it will be Amrun, Amran, and Amrin. Amrun, nahnu dhahibuna, we are going. Fil yawm as-sabi'i, in the 7th day. So we are going on the 7th day. And as you know here, nahnu is mubtada and dhahibuna is khabar. And here dhahibuna is used as ism al-fa'il, and it gives the meaning of going. We are going. And if you remember that in the beginning that we have discussed that dhahibun or dhahibuna or ism al-fa'il can also be used on the to mean something that will happen in the future. So nahnu dhahibuna fil yawm as-sabi'i, we are going on the 7th day. Akhsha, I am afraid. Khashya yakhsha, akhsha, I am afraid. Fail plus fa'il. And an yakuna or an yakuna az-zihamu shadidan. So an yakuna, as we know that kana yakuna means be. An yakuna az-zihamu, that the crowd will be shadidan, like it will be heavily crowded. So we will say, I'm afraid that it will be heavily crowded. So akhsha fail plus fa'il, and an yakuna masdar mu'awwal is in the place of maf'ul bihi. It is in the place of maf'ul bihi. Please remember this because we will learn about it, about masdar al-mu'awwal in the coming lessons. So as of now, we know that this is called al-masdar al-mu'awwal. This is not the original masdar. It has been like formed as masdar and it is used in the place of maf'ul bihi. Fil matafi, in mataf, wal mas'a, and in mas'a. So what is mataf and mas'a? Mataf is the place where we do tawaf, tafa yatufu, and when we talk about dharf, it will be mataf. And sa'a yas'a, where we do sa'i, it will be mas'a. In mataf and mas'a. So this is a place of doing tawaf, and this is a place of doing sa'i. So inshallah, whenever Allah gives us the chance to go over there, all of us, we can just notice this over there. It's not because we know the meaning, but in fact, even if we know that makes sense, so you will see that it will be written over there. Ila al-mataf wa ila al-mas'a, it will be written over there. Mataf and mas'a. So we can call them like this, mataf and mas'a, the place of doing tawaf and the place of doing sa'i. Al-mushrifu, la takhaf, khafa yakhufu, and then fi'l al-amr is la takhaf, don't be afraid. Allahu al-muyassiru. And as you can see here in the beginning of the lesson, we discussed that lafz al-jalala is mubtada and al-muyassiru is khabar. So it could be Allahu muyassirun. Yes, Allah is the creator of ease. And we always make dua in the beginning of the lesson. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir. So yassir, yassara, yuyassiru, taysiran means to make something easier. So to make something easy. Muyassirun is the one who makes something easy. So Allahu al-muyassiru. So now here is emphasis. It is Allah who makes things easier, or it is Allah who will make it easy for us. So when we have this situation like Allahu Samad, then it means that it is more emphatic than saying Allahu muyassirun. That is also fine. That will be mubtada and khabar. But this khabar is stronger and it gives the meaning of emphasis. Similarly, we say Allahu al-musta'anu. Allahu al-musta'anu. Yani it is Allah who we seek help from. So these are the expressions as well. We use them as expressions. Allahu al-muyassiru and Allahu al-musta'anu. Ana dhahibun ila maktabi. Ana dhahibun, I am going to ila maktabi, my office. So here it is used, I'm sure it is used as office. Maktabi, mudaf mudaf ilayh, mubtada and khabar. Ana dhahibun ila maktabi. La tansaw. Nasiya yansa. Yansa, and when we talk to the person, single person in front of you, we say tansa, right? So when we make la tansa and tansa, tansaya, tansaw, it was basically tansawna and tansawna, and the noon has been dropped, and we know why the noon has been dropped, because la an-nahi, and we know that when we make so when we make a command, then the noon gets dropped for the masculine plural. La tansaw, don't forget. Anna, that. Maw'idana, our time to meet. Maw'id is mudaf and na is mudaf ilayh. And it is also from wa'ada ya'idu, maw'id, on the pattern of maf'il. As-sa'atu al-thaniyatu is wa nisfu. So our meeting time is 2:30. As-sa'atu al-thaniyatu wa nisfu. Our meeting time is 2:30. Fi mawqif as-sayyarati, in the car park, inshallah, with the help of, or if Allah wills. So our meeting time, don't forget that our meeting time is 2:30 in the car park, inshallah. So alhamdulillah, it's a comparatively easier lesson and consists of only one idea, which is about dharf, الزمان or makan. So if it is normally it comes either on the pattern of maf'alun or maf'ilun. So both of them we have seen, like when it comes on the pattern of maf'alun and when it comes on the pattern of maf'ilun. So inshallah, after completing this, in the next lesson, we will complete our exercises. The next couple of lessons, or inshallah, all the coming lessons, they are much easier. As we know, inna ma'al usri yusra. So inshallah, the time of ease has come now. Do you have any questions? Yeah, so it's Amrun. So Omaru and Amrun. So this one will be Amrun. There was a question over here, so